Hi guys, welcome to Syndication Made Easy with Vinney Chopra. I'm your co-host, Alicia DeBrell. But before we get going, guys, don't forget to turn on that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. But Mr. Chopra, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, doing great. Thank you. Thank you, Alicia. It's such a pleasure. It's a nice, bright day. Look at the sunshine.
I
Right
know.
back. I've been kind of moving around the camera to get it right.
No, I'm excited because this is, this is something that obviously a lot of people are covering, and that is the coronavirus.
Yeah,
Now you own a ton of different properties. What I want to do is I want to kind of dig into how this is affecting property management, because I
sure.
know like where I live, like the pool's shut down, there's no common areas open at all.
Yes.
And also I want to cover everything from people paying rent, paying their bills and everything. So, well, first of all, how has this epidemic?
Well, it's affected, pretty badly in every angle. Actually, it just started in the March month when we had the lockdowns and everything. The common area, like you just said, closed, and the swimming pool is closed. Even our offices, we are closing them, but our community managers and the leasing agents are inside. They are able to communicate with the residents remotely because of the 6 feet distance, and so forth like that. Our technicians, our maintenance people also are adhering to the, very emergency situations when they have to enter in, because most of the home, uh, every unit, the people are locked in certain of our properties. So we have them living inside, and the distance and everything. So we are taking very big precautions and abiding by all the rules and regulations of the county, of the state, of the federal government, and so on. But it's something that we will live through it. I really believe that. I've always been a very optimistic person. I've been on several shows lately and panels and all that. It's going to be like a V, or maybe, as one of my friends said, it might be even like a, the, oh, what's that? You know, uh, Nike,
Oh, nice.
Nike V, which is like a swoosh like that. So it's not going to be a U. In other words, where a lot of time was involved in the recession that we had, which was not inflicted by a invisible enemy like coronavirus, COVID-19. But back then in 2007 and 8, the fundamentals were totally different. And it was a housing crisis, and people were walking away from homes, and people were losing homes left and right, all those stuff. That's not happening. Economy was going really well, as you know, before this all hit, just few months back, month and a half, 2 months back. So I really believe that it's going to be a good team effort, hopefully, between the owners like us, who want to pay the mortgage and pay the utility bills and, keep the operation going. But the residents also, if they're getting unemployment, and seniors who are getting their checks, we want to make sure that they are paying their rent. Rents are due on the first, even now, even though we cannot evict them, and we cannot, do any foreclosures. Government is saying, mortgage also, we can, what's the word? Defer it. We have to pay.
You have to defer the rent. So like,
Exactly. Yeah.
okay.
We'll have to defer the rents also in certain situation by situation. We are
Mhm.
taking each and every resident by its own, term, and look at where we are exposing them to the churches, to different organizations, to apply for, the, what's that? The unemployment pay. Government has been passing like $2 trillion package, and a lot of money will be given down. $3,000 I heard,
Yeah,
per
$3,000
family.
I think is what I
So,
heard too.
there will be a lot of help there, and the residents cannot just live and not do anything on themselves to make sure that they keep it a priority to pay the bills, so that we
Yeah.
can pay the mortgage, pay the utilities. We don't want any of our, apartment buildings get electricity cut off, or water cut off, or, gas cut off, and things like that.
So, okay, so how do you see this affecting? Because right now it's going to send us pretty much into a recession, you know, because everybody's lost their jobs and there's no work and pretty much the entire country shut down. So we're going to see some after effects.
Yeah, big time, big time. There'll be lots of effects, as you all know. I mean, the restaurants are closed, the retail centers are closed, and rightly so. I mean, the automobile places, nobody's buying just because we cannot be out there in the open to be able to have that, our health at a hazard, right? And like in New York, I mean, that was so sad, what we are seeing. And in Florida, Seattle, even in the Bay Area where I live near San Francisco in the Silicon Valley. But I think, government, federal government and local governments are doing their best, I think, as much as they can. We could have started a little early,
Yeah.
getting all these preparations done and so forth. But we also see light at the end of the tunnel in China and then in South Korea and so forth, where the curve has flattened out and people are getting back into normalcy. I don't know how true that is, but that's how also we are seeing that epidemic is not same throughout USA either. So in certain parts of the country, it's more concentrated than others. And I think I definitely want to appeal to everybody to adhere to the rules and abide by the rules and regular, especially the young people. It's so sad that, some young people, I mean, they're partying and so forth. And
Yeah.
if only
Spring break.
one person is, positive, he's going
Yeah.
to contaminate 12, 14, 15 people. And some of the people will die. I mean, that's the real truth, guys. I mean, you got to be really intelligent to help everybody, and the seniors definitely need to be very, very cautious. I'm a senior, I'm 67, and I just, I'm trying to do everything from home like we always do, remotely from our offices. And I'm even more active now than even before, because a lot of investors are home, brokers also are working from their home, things like that. So there is a great opportunity. That's what I want to talk about. The mindset, first of all, physical, we need to be really strong, eating right, exercising and everything, and feeding our mind with positive thoughts and all the different ideas that people are able to take care, in their property management. And there will be a lot of great opportunities coming also for purchases and things like that. So this is the time for us to really pause, I think is the word. We've been running and gunning and walking and moving and shaking, but now is the time to spend a little bit time with the family, take care of the family, and see that we are learning skills also. This is the perfect time for us to get to that learning and the coaching or whatever mentoring, either in my school or academy or anybody's, to learn the tricks of the trade and get your brand ready, get your investor space ready with this jitteriness in the stock market. I mean, that's going to really is sending chills. People who are greedy, they have lost so much money and we don't know when it's going to come back. So people will be diversifying in real estate also. Let's talk about property management. So we are holding meetings with community managers almost every other day. We are sending out flyers. We are giving them instructions, our regional managers, asset managers, all of them, and trying to tell our team upfront to be empathetic, sympathetic, but at the same token, be stern. That's the word. They need to let everybody know, hey, the rent is due on the first and it's late on the fourth. So you got to make sure they pay remotely, online, sending checks through the door or whatever, right? So that we can get our mortgage payments made, our utility bills. Those are the two big ones. Taxes are the third big expense that we do, and maintenance and supplies and all that we can, take care of it. But the biggest things.
I'm sorry. I'm back to like the facilities, like so laundry facilities and stuff like that. Is that open or is that shut?
That's a good point. I don't know, but I think most of the common areas and laundry facilities do come in that. Maybe we are regulating them, letting our residents know not to be there too many.
Yeah.
But it's 24-hour open, so they could go when somebody's not there, so they can do their washing and things like that. Sure. But the big thing is that we are stressing to the residents to be safe, to be healthy, and adhere to the rules and regulations, but also opening avenues for them so that they cannot be thinking, poor me, I'm going to get, I don't have to pay the rent. See, that's the worst thing can happen throughout USA when the residents and a lot of millennials, by the way, young people, IT people, I mean, they're living in apartments and they are getting paid. I mean, a lot of people in America, uh, wage earners, they are getting paid. It's in the C class, which we don't have too many of them, thank God, but C minus class, where we have more blue collar, workers who live in the apartments, they are hurt because,
Yeah.
the restaurant business, retail business, and construction business, possibly like that. So they are mostly hurting. And that's where the government is also paying them money to pay the rents and, take care of their living expenses and so forth like that. And unemployment is the right thing to do. And I was told that, from our asset manager, that the county is paying very quickly, no red tape, no nothing. You prove your identity and everything, what your profession was, they're able to give you the money. So I would really highly recommend all the owners of the, apartment buildings to step up and
And
communicate.
educate the residents.
Communication, very open, frank, and to let the residents know we want to do everything possible to keep the facility open for you and take care of you in this, downtime, which could be a month, 2 months, maybe 3 months. But the thing is, April collections are going to be tough. They will be tough. And this is the time where more people are, out of job than as compared to March 1st. So
Yeah, because they didn't shut down the country till after March 1st rent was paid.
exactly,
So
exactly.
April is where it's going to be a
April,
cluster.
May, June, we are thinking it's going to be really hurting. And hopefully, I know President Trump wants to open up, certain areas of the country, which rightly so, but it's going to be very calculated move if they do that, where they see that there is no positive, more numbers coming. And we can all take care of, this is up to us as a good citizen to really make sure that we are abiding by the laws and really keeping ourselves healthy mentally, physically, spiritually, and all like that.
I completely agree. I do have a question. Like, okay,
Huh?
so once this kind of clears up a little bit, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to end up losing their homes, and so I would think that the apartments and the the multifamily space is going to be really strong coming to the end of the year because there's going to be a lot of people who lost their homes, they lost their jobs, they you know what I mean, so they need a place to stay. They
You're
still need a
right.
home. They still need a roof
You're
over
right.
their head. So am I
You-
looking at this the right way?
No, you're right, Alicia. I mean, it happened in the crash of 2007 and 8, actually, when people did lose their home, their families, so they needed shelter over their head. Everybody does. They do need that unless homeless, So that's why the apartments really weathered the storm much better in that crash also, 2007 and 8. Multifamily is such a thing, apartments, because if one or two or three or five people don't pay rent, 90% of the people will pay, like out of 100, I'm thinking, right?
Mhm.
So it's one thing where not too many foreclosures happen in multifamily, by the way. Just as you said, single family, yes. But I think it was a very different situation then. A lot of people own a lot of rental homes, 10, 15, 20, and they could not give mortgage because there were not too many rents who, collected. So they just abandoned them, derivatives, other stuff, falling off the financial cycle. Everything happened back then. But now it's not the same at all. I mean, everything was going fine and really nice. I mean, the market, stock market was close to 29,000 points and everything. And it was not something man inflicted. It's because of this disease that got started other parts of the world, and then it got contaminated all over the, globe, all over the world. This is go down. Nobody ever could imagine 2 3 months back that we'll be in this kind of situation. So
I
you're
can
right.
see it.
What will happen is the people who will survive, there'll be some shakeout a little bit in the apartment ownership too. And then, some people are going to be looking out, those who are cash rich, they'll be buying some of these apartments
I
that
was going to
the
say right now is the time to buy, right?
be selling. Exactly. I am too. I'm out there to buy and build and so forth, like in senior living. And also we are looking into multifamily. I just got an offer for one of my apartment, which I'm selling in Atlanta, things like that. So it's not business as usual, but we can make it as best as we can. But you're right. As soon as I think the lift is there, and the government says that yes, you can go back to work and everything, will see a big upsurge in employment numbers, getting more employed. I know the number is coming April 3rd. I don't know if this will come before that or not, our interview, but that is going to be a big number of unemployment. Some people
Yeah.
are even thinking about 20-25% unemployed people in USA alone. So that's a big one. And I think the countries in, it's an election year also,
Yeah.
so we really see that, I think, a lot more impetus being put into this package, 2 trillion, maybe another trillion after that, and so forth. And as we know, governments can print money very fast and so forth, and we have done it before. So I think again, with the most intelligent people, they are thinking it is going to take time. You're right. The business is not going to be just like before. Airline industries, cruise industries, I mean, hotels, they're hurting very badly, all those things. But government is going to come, bail them out, give them loans so that they can repay that back, just like Chrysler, Ford, and other GM in 2007 and 8. When they gave them the loans, they paid them back handsomely and revived, so that's how I'm sure the programs will be there. I always have felt that having faith and having hope are the two main things in this time of calamity, that we can totally get focused on what can we do for ourselves, for the citizens, for family. I mean, I would highly recommend, this is the best time to really do things with the family, with the children as they're home, rather than watching TV and all that, but get constructive, time in
Homework,
doing some
homeschooling.
puzzles and reading and understanding and knowledge and playing games and things like that.
Yeah, I wish I had it with me. I've been doing like, because my daughter, she's pre-K, so but we're
Yeah.
doing math. We do math every morning.
Yes.
That's the first thing we do with breakfast, and then we do then we do writing, practice writing our names and just the alphabet, just because she's also left-handed, so she writes a little messy.
Yes. Yes.
But
Yes.
yeah, I mean, this is the perfect time to be with your family and to educate
Totally.
the kids. Just because they're out of class or out of school doesn't mean they should sit in front of the TV for 12 hours a day, you know. So I think that so with the property management side of things,
Mhm.
do you have any fears what the virus is going to do as far as, affecting the property management side of the coin more than it already has?
I think definitely, again, it's like any kind of business, of contact business, as you know. Of course, everybody's living in their units, and by making sure we are supervising and making sure people are not gathering together, and of course, by closing up the common areas, swimming pools, because summer is coming. I mean, people want to be out there barbecuing and all that, making sure that doesn't happen, and also being considerate, and the communication is the biggest thing. This is the high time for us to give notices and flyers and educating our residents to abide by the rules and regulations, and also paying their rent. I mean, that's the number one thing. Also renewing. I know there are different ways we could do that. If somebody just cannot pay the rent, we are thinking about amortizing it. If they have 6 more months left for the lease, we can divide that amount of the month rent of April by 6 and then tack it on to May, June, July, and so on. If they miss May also, then we'll have to reduce that, divided by the 5 months left, and kind of add it. So residents need to pay, even though we cannot evict, as you know, for 30 days or 60 days, different, laws are there. And also foreclosures cannot happen, which is very good. The government has done, federal government, the Fannie Mae, the Freddie Mac, and
Yeah.
other institutions, that there will be no foreclosures, which is a very good thing, because that can be a big, big burden on the economy, even if we get into that same debacle like we did in 2007 and 8. So we learned from there, and I think our government, I believe in them, and the people there, intelligent people, that we can, survive this, the dip. It could be a V, it could be a little bit longer, like a swoosh, like Nike symbol. That's the word, like this, and then going this way. But at the same token, I think the people who will really, really come out of it would be the strong minded, strong willed, work ethic people who will make sure that they take care of residents, take care of investors, because a lot of things are happening in the marketplace, and people are stressed out. When we are stressed out, our immunity goes down and everything, and we can, get more sick and things like that. So mentally, we need to be strong. Mentally, mindset is really big thing. I've been a very positive person all my life, but at the same token, I think I've overcome lots of hardships much better because of the positive twist on things and so forth like that. So I'm very, busy actually every single day, working 8, 10, 12 hours many times in coaching, teaching, interviewing, podcasting, panel discussions, and, doing marketing, our, the webinar almost every day. And today there is one also, and then tomorrow there is actually 3 of them tomorrow, and recordings with you, and
Yep.
our Facebook live show and everything. So it's good to be busy. It's good to be busy smartly, and it's good to be really putting that leadership role. This is the time that everybody listening to me and watching me should really get into their hat about leadership, because the people who really survive in these kind of bad times are the leaders, the visionaries, the hope givers, the faith, givers, people to their teams of people, and make sure that they are also learning and growing with you.
No, I completely agree. Well, I know that you've done a lot of coverage on the coronavirus and multifamily, so I appreciate you, coming out here and just kind of, this is good for not only for people who own properties, who are, own a multifamily property, but also this is a great episode for the residents too. They should be listening to this too.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Alicia. And also, I do want to say, please do take some of this experts from excerpts, whatever we say, that we did from the panel discussion, fireside chat. Maybe we could, even publish that along with that. And also, I've been on J. Darren Ross, my good friend's show, and several other shows. So if we can even add some of these things along with them, we could make 2 or 3 episodes out of it. I think the more sooner we can get them out, the better it'll be.
No, I do too. Thank you so much for your time, Vinney. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, for catching me this morning before we do lots of great recordings with our esteemed guests today. Yeah.
Yes, and guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next week.
Hey, thank you, guys, and I hope you are. If you are stuck at home,
yes, read the
book
and
get a copy of this great book, Apartments Syndication Made Easy. It teaches you everything, how to really get to buy apartments in this time of. That's how I started, guys. I didn't know anything about anything. Cash on cash, LOI, letter of intent, or ROI, return on investment, IRR. I did not know nothing. I'm telling you, in the last crash, but I had learned, and that's when I started buying my 14 units 14 units for $180,000. And now I'm able to buy over 330 million in this last 10 years. So it's amazing. I mean, you can change your life really if you want to. And this is the right time with the crash, which is happening with the, what we are going through, coronavirus and things like that. So pick up a copy. The good part is it's in Kindle. You could just get it remotely right away. If you have Audible, it's free, totally free. And you could get a paperback delivered by Amazon, or the audio, and also my Spanish speaking friends. We have also a new book now, same book, converted into Spanish for all over the world. So we did that really for you. So I hope you will get the use of it. Thank you.
All right, guys. Until next week, this is Syndication Made Easy.
Thank you. Thank you, Alicia. See you again. Bye-bye.
Be sure to listen to Mr. Smiles next week with more golden nuggets and top-notch coaching tips. You can reach him by going to VinneyChopra.com. Be sure to like, comment, and share to show everyone how Mr. Smiles has brought your apartment syndication business to the next level.